Hi, and we're back. So as I was talking in the first video, this young man is constantly on a rough and rocky road, even throughout his passage into ministry. And the young man in this story, the pastor, as he later becomes, represents many of the challenges faced by many congregations and many ministries throughout the world. So let's go ahead and get back to the story. So this young man, it's just about the time before he takes his walk into ministry, shortly there before, this young man is on a pretty rough and rocky road. He's had a pretty hard life. He's indulged in idolatry. He has indulged in adultery of the heart and the mind. He has indulged in all kinds of sinful ways that are not ordained of God. So this young man is desperate. He really wants to take a walk with God. He's grown up in a church where he regularly went to church. And as he got older, he stopped going to church so much. But he's trying. He just keeps falling off the God and Jesus train. Keeps falling right back into that pot of sin. He just can't seem to pull himself out. He no more than pulls himself out. He's back in. So he's desperate because he doesn't want to live that way. He wants to turn his life around. So one night, the young man is so desperate because he sinned and he's prayed to God, please forgive me, God. Please forgive my sins. And the sins have gotten so big and so out of control in his life that he finally is hit desperation. He finally has come to a crossroads and he prays to God, or he thinks he's praying to God. And the praying turns into bartering. And the young man begins to barter with what he thinks is God. But in reality, he's bartering with the spirit of confusion. The spirit of confusion has been in this young man's life all along. The spirit of confusion has been the voice that has dragged him right back into that sin. And it's still dragging him into the sin. The spirit of confusion keeps this young man spiritually sick and spiritually ill. And it whispers in his ear. It confuses the young man. It makes him believe it's the God of voice. It's the voice of God, excuse me. It makes this young man believe that it's God that is directing him. And he comes to realization every time it's not God, it's the spirit of confusion. But he just can't seem to get the spirit of confusion off his back. He knows what he's doing is wrong. He just doesn't know how to fix it. He doesn't know how to make it better. So the young man, who has been a member of his church for a very long time, a church that puts church policies and doctrine and traditions above God and Jesus, has been indoctrinated into the setting where God and Jesus have taken a back seat, And doctrines and policies have become the most important thing in his life. This young man is in torment. And he's prayed and bartered and prayed and bartered and prayed and bartered and been dragged right back into sin by the spirit of confusion. He just can't seem to get out of this pattern. It's becoming so bad that finally he falls to his knees one night in anguish and pain and cries out to God with tears running down his face. God, will you please intervene in my life? I'm tired of my sinning. I want to turn my life over to you. I want to follow a path into ministry. And if you do this, God, I will be loyal to you. I will be in your army, and we'll be back.